Good evening, grade 10s. Okay, so I'm touching a bit on arrays, right? I hope you guys know you're writing on the 4th, right? So just touching a bit on arrays because it's not something that we do a lot, okay? So I've got two buttons here, and when I press this button, I would like an input box to pop up and for me to be able to enter in a name, and then I say okay, and then another input box pop up for the surname, right? And then it needs to give me the option to either capture another student or to then be finished. In other words, no more input boxes popping up, okay? So this would be within our ability if we knew, for instance, there are 5 students in this class, so this thing needs to loop 5 times so that 5 input boxes pop up. Alright, but in this case we don't know how many students there are, right? There might be 10, there might be 50, there might be 100. We need to keep on having input boxes pop up until this user or this teacher types, do you want to continue? No. Okay, so this loop could be infinite. It's based on the condition, based on whether or not the teacher wants to continue or not. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay. So my plan, first of all, is to have 2 arrays. One to store the name of the learners, one to store the surname of the learners. Okay. So look what happens if I just do this. If I say inside of sname, please put in, okay, then we have an input box pop up. Input box, the name of the input box is name, the instruction is enter name, and then empty quotes. Alright, and this gets stored in this variable. Okay, and then we place that name inside of our array. So our name, and let's just put sname in there. Okay, this is something that you guys do a lot, right? You want to put a value stored in a variable inside the array, so you just indicate the name of the array. Guys, an array is like a school bag. Which folder inside the array do you want to populate? Alright, do you want to populate the first folder or what? Alright, but the problem with populating the first folder is then the next time you'd have to now go say 2, then 3, and then 4. Alright, so obviously these lines are going to be in a loop. Okay, and I'm going to use a while loop with a Boolean flag. Now that sounds weird, but you guys are going to see what I mean. So I'm going to say while b continue is equal to true. Now if you had just said while b continue, it is the same thing as saying while it's equal to true. It's up to you guys. Alright, so your while loop gets a begin and an end. Alright, so this b continue, what type of variable is it? B, it's Boolean, right? So I'm going to declare it continue Boolean. Now a Boolean can either be true or false, okay? Why is this not happy? Continue. Should be okay. Don't know why it's not happy. We'll figure it out now. Alright, so a Boolean can either be true or false. So here I'm saying while this Boolean variable is true, you're going to keep doing the following things. Alright, so what should it do? It should have an input box pop up, get the name, store the name. Okay, but are we only going to be storing it in the first folder? No. Let's get a variable called count, okay, which I've declared there. And this is the problem, guys. You see this line and this line are the same. You cannot declare the same thing twice. So I've already declared it there. Alright, so I've got this variable called count. So I'm saying in the count folder, please put this name. Okay, but the computer asks, okay, what is count? Alright, you need to have given count an initial value. Let's say it's 0. Okay, and every time a new input box pops up, let's increase the value of count to, it would be 1 and then 2 and then so on and so forth. Okay, cool beans. What else do we need? We need a surname, which I will store in the other array. Alright, I'm going to use s last name. Okay, and I'm just going to change this to last name, enter last name, then s last name. Right, cool beans, and then this is our last name. If you're not sure, just look at the top where you've declared it. Alright, so let's see what's happening here. The user will click this button, alright. Program will come here, it will initialize count to 0 while bContinue equals true. Is bContinue equal to true? Remember, bContinue is a variable that can be either true or false. Have we given it a value? No. So this while loop won't run. That's a problem. So I'm going to give bContinue an initial value of true. And you don't need to put that in quotes. You don't need to put the Boolean value there in quotes. Alright, cool. So bContinue is true. This while loop condition is satisfied. And you'll come here, count will be increased to 1. Okay. Input box will pop up. You'll type in a name, get stored in there. And name gets stored in the first folder in your array. Right, then another input box pops up. You type in your last name, that gets stored in the first folder of your last name array. Okay, then it will come here. Should your while loop stop? Did anywhere here alter the value of bContinue? Did you make bContinue false? No. But we need to offer the user the choice to stop. So let's get another variable. I'm going to use sAnswer, and I'm going to give another input box, and I'm going to ask the user if he wants to continue or not. So we'll call this continue. I'm going to ask him, do you want to continue? Question mark, and let's give him the possible answers, yes or no. Okay, cool. Empty quotes. Now, if that answer is not equal to y, it means he wants to stop, right? So this is how you do that. If not sAnswer in brackets is equal to y in quotes, you have to put the brackets, guys. So if not, so in normal English you just say if sAnswer is not equal to, here you say if not sAnswer is equal to y, then what should happen? It means he wants to stop. He doesn't want to have another input box pop up asking for the name. He wants to get out of this while loop. Now look carefully, how do we stop this while loop? How do we exit this while loop? What is the condition? It's based on bContinue. If we can change bContinue to false, this while loop will stop. So if you can change this Boolean variable to store false, and this is how we do it. Inside that variable, you just store false. So this input box pops up, I type in the letter n is not equal to y, bContinue becomes false, your while loop stops. Alright, cool. So this will keep going. You will populate 2 arrays. Then what I've done here in display, I've firstly cleared my memo, and then I've got a for loop that goes 1 to count. Why 1 to count? count is keeping track of how many names and surnames I put in my array. So 1, 2 count, and then in my memo I start looking in my name array, add a space, and my surname array. So let's look what this program does. Capture. So name is Ben, surname Sim, and do you want to continue? Yes. Right, so that while loop condition is still satisfied. So it goes again, Hunter Capuchin. Alright. Do I want to continue? No. So B continue becomes false and it stops. Now I can press display. It loops through my name array, last name array, Ben Sim, Hans Capuchin. Cool beans. Alright guys, so in class tomorrow I expect you guys to be able to do this. Populate an array based on the user's feedback and then loop through those arrays, parallel arrays, and display their contents in a memo. Okay. If you don't understand this, paste the code into ChatGPT, ask it for help. Back in the day we didn't have this, right? But the best way of learning is to sit and think about it, okay? It's not going to happen for free. Okay guys, see you tomorrow. Cheers. Cool beans.